It's like a three counting. Hi, I'm Terrence Dellinger, and I'm here outside the 2011 Indianapolis Horror Hound Convention. I'm sitting with. Do you prefer Robert or?
Yeah, Robert's good.
Okay, I'm sitting here with Robert Hall, director of Laid to Rest and Laid to Rest 2, Chromeskull. So, Robert, how's the weekend been for you?
It's great. It's freezing, and I made these poor guys sit outside to do the interview just so I could smoke. So it's kind of insensitive of me. But other than the cold, it's been actually super awesome. It's I love the fans here. They're super friendly and really into the movie. And there's a lot of it's surprising. I've never really been to the Midwest at a horror convention, so there's a lot of fans not only Laid to Rest, but my first movie, Lightning Bug, which is really cool to see.
Now, how many? This is kind of a two-parter question. How many conventions total does this make for you, and how many conventions does this make for Laid to Rest?
That's a good question. I mean, I've been going to. I went to my first horror convention, a Fango convention in Detroit, when I was 16. So if you count like all the times that I've been as a fan, I've probably been, in the hundreds of horror conventions. Now for Laid to Rest, we only did we did a big premiere at Fangoria for the first one, and then we did Texas Frightmare 2 years in a row, and then we did this. So I mean, Laid to Rest is a pretty new franchise, so we're just now sort of getting out there.
And I did sit in on the Q&A on Friday, so I already asked some questions. So overall, how have the fans been treating you here?
The fans have been really awesome. I mean, it's cool. It's really neat. Everything has really changed, in terms of distribution and how movies get out there. And you're in sort of a bubble a little bit when you're making movies. Like when you're in LA, like we were making this, and we just kind of assumed, okay, we were, Laid to Rest did really well. It was one of the best-selling horror DVDs of 2009. We won a bunch of awards. We were the cover of Fangoria magazine. We're like, all horror fans know about it. And then you come here, and it's not necessarily the case. You've got your little factions of people who, like Dario Argento and splatter stuff, but they don't really know about the newer stuff. And then you've got people who, like Hatchet, but haven't heard of Laid to Rest, which is weird. So it's good. It's neat because you hit that groundswell movement, and you can really hammer it.
Now, I got to ask you this just because I'm a huge Joss Whedon nerd. You did the makeup for a couple. For how many seasons of Buffy and Angel did you do the makeup for?
Joss Whedon and I worked together on a bunch of stuff. Angel, I did basically all the series. I came in kind of at the end of the second season, and then I did all of 3, all of 4, all of 5, and then would have done a 6th when we had it. So Angel was kind of like my baby, and that was kind of like my big break, I guess you could say. That's sort of what took me from doing like a lot of Roger Corman movies to actually doing cool stuff that people see, and then as a result, Joss offered me Buffy a couple of times, and I couldn't do it. And then the last time, it was sort of like a mafia offer, where it was like, no, Joss really wants you to do it. No, seriously, no, really, you're starting next week. So I wound up doing the last 2 seasons of Buffy for the most part. I did the musical episode, was the first one that I did.
I love the musical episode.
Yeah, everybody does. It's so clever and it's so ahead of its time, and Joss is brilliant.
Now, have there been any odd requests for things for you to sign here at the convention?
Boobs? No, I'm kidding. No, actually, there's not been anything super odd that we've been asked to sign. It's cool though. I mean, it's like the first time that I've seen any fan-made Chromeskull stuff. Like there's a guy here who did a really good Chromeskull suit himself, and made his own mask and painted it. And there were some other guys here who had sculpted a really good likeness of the Chromeskull mask, and then they were going to have us sign it, but they didn't finish it in time, so they were like all bummed out at themselves. So that would have been kind of the oddest thing had it been finished. No, everything else has been pretty standard, posters and DVDs and that kind of stuff. No body parts yet. Maybe on the third movie when I send them into space.
Okay, so is this your first time here in Indiana?
Yes, let me write this real quick. Pulling John Carpenter. Yes, it's my first time in Indiana as a whole. Yeah, I've been all over the world, and it's weird. I've never actually been here. I've never been to this con, but it's neat. Like I said, it's this is a big area. You know what I mean? Like and I guess that's why collectively a convention like this can draw. And this is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It can draw a lot of folks because you've got all these surrounding states where this is probably the closest like hub of coolness that they can get to. So yeah, it's my first time here, and I would definitely come back. I like all the people that run it. They're really nice, and yeah, everyone's just super cool. It's awesome. It's a stroke fest. I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say.
Have you read Horror Hound magazine for very long?
Not really, to be honest with you. I'm sort of new at it. I don't really get a chance to read too much and things like that. But it's so awesome. I mean, I know that everything's kind of moving online. That's why DVD sales have shrank. That's why CD sales have shrank, and that's why magazine circulation has also shrank. But there's something cool about having something tangible, and I think, reading the last few issues that they've sent me and looked at, it's really informative and it's really well done. And so I'm definitely a fan now. And I miss that like tangibility of having a record album in your hand or a cool magazine in your hand that you can read on a plane when you don't have fucking internet, So I think that I hope it does. I hope it continues to do well because I don't want to see all that stuff disappear.
All right, second to last question. Do you have any announcements about either Chromeskull Later S2 or any other future projects coming down the pipeline?
Well, we did a big show for Fox called Lock and Key, which is based on a graphic novel that Joe Hill wrote, Stephen King's son. So if that gets picked up, that's going to be a really kick-ass show that my company Almost Human is doing. But I don't know if that's so much an announcement, more of a fingers crossed. And then we've got Chromeskull's coming out from Image Entertainment, which is not Anchor Bay, a different company's putting it out, but we were guaranteed Blu-ray, which is great because we still don't have a Blu-ray from Anchor Bay on the first one, which was kind of a bummer. But Chromeskull will be out probably around September on Blu-ray, DVD, video on demand, all that good stuff.
All right, and so final question. Do you have any message to the fans or to the subscribers and viewers of Horror Hound?
Like any message, period?
Or shout out or anything like that?
I should go all Charlie Sheen on them.
Tiger blood,
Yeah,
magic.
yeah. No, man, just keep independent horror alive. Like it's so important, and I mean that not only with like our movies, but I mean it with the publications and support the little guys. Stop going to see crappy remakes, and bad sequels in movie theaters that are shallow and soulless, and we all know they're gonna suck. Stop giving them money, or they'll keep making that crap. Support the little guy, read horror magazines, and come to conventions like this, and take a chance on a smaller movie. The best stuff doesn't necessarily come to movie theaters anymore. It just doesn't work that way. Direct-to-video as a stigma doesn't exist anymore. Some of the best movies that I can name over the last 5 years were not in a movie theater in America.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you at future conventions.